Hello, I'm State Representative Jeff Rezabek from the 43rd House District. Welcome to Ohio in Focus.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Ohio in Focus, a program that brings state government to you. I'm Brad Miller, and I'm joined today by State Representative Jeff Rezabek, who serves the 43rd House District, which includes Preble County as well as portions of Montgomery County. Representative, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
First time on the program, first-term legislator, so why don't we begin by you sharing with us some of your background of what brought you here to Columbus.
Well, again, thanks for having me here. It's great to be at the State House. I'm learning a lot, but I'm an attorney in the local area. Most of the people in Montgomery County and Preble County know me doing juvenile work in juvenile court, representing children in our area and families. I do a lot of guardian ad litem work. And I did run a couple years ago for juvenile court judge. And so that kind of probably gets the taste of being in politics and trying to do what's good and right for the community. And that's what we've always tried to do. And so when this opportunity came, we saw that there was a need in the 43rd to have a representative that would come to the State House and actually try and get some things done and try and represent the entire district. You've got to remember, as you said, it's Northwest Montgomery County and all of Preble County, and it's a complete diverse area because you go from urban and suburban areas to rural and farm country, and so it's just a unique challenge to meet all of those people and make sure we have a good solid footing out there in that district.
Every district is unique in its own way, but that is one thing that definitely separates the 43rd from many others. What has the experience been like so far? You were about a few months into your term here. What's it been like here at the State House?
First of all, when we first, after being elected, you go through an orientation, and that orientation was wonderful because it gets you focused on the process and what happens and how to do it and who you need to call, and then you got to get your staff set up. And in that first month of actually after being sworn in, which is a fun time, family and friends are in town and it's an exciting time, but almost immediately the government starts really moving, at least on the legislative side, to look at bills and be in committee. And that first month first month and a half is an adjustment. I still have my law practice, so it was just balancing what's happening here up in Columbus, getting back to the district, making sure I'm listening to my constituents out there, and also taking care of my law practice. So it was a kind of adjustment. But we were able to work with, I'm working with Representative Sprague on a particular bill, and after we've got that through committee and that, things started to fall in place, and actually we're really starting to move. And then the biggest thing is that budget, being a new member, learning that process.
We're going to talk about House Bill 4, which you mentioned that you're sponsoring with Representative Sprague. Every odd-numbered year, which is the first year of every General Assembly, you mentioned the budget. That's the first thing on everyone's mind. A lot of people liken it to drinking out of a fire hose. Can you talk about that process a little more in depth?
Yes, when the budget does come out, and as an individual, I thought, as you come in, make sure you read everything, make sure you understand everything, make sure you listen. I think that's the biggest thing, not only listening to your constituents, but listening to the veterans that are here who know the process, can explain it to you. Reading the budget is something that I think speed readers need to work on. We get, they break it down for us, and I think that's just one of the things that there's a tremendous amount to the whole budget process, because it's not just one budget. There's several budgets that have to get passed, and as we've just seen with the transportation budget, we passed something, the Senate made some changes, now it's coming back, so there's still more work to be done on that as we're trying to work on everything else, and it's good. As I tell people, I came into this really trying to say, hey, here's a new person, we've got a new view on things. The system works. It works well, and I think I just had a phone call with a constituent the other day, and I actually already took his issues. We were talking on some budget issues, and I already brought his name up right to the finance chair that said, this is one constituent that had a concern, so voices can be heard, and we do take it seriously. Every representative, senator take that all serious, that when we hear from constituents, we want to raise those issues, and we do it directly with the budget.
So you're coming into your first term, also coming in with a new speaker, Speaker Cliff Rosenberger, coming in after outgoing Speaker Bill Batchelder. One of the first jobs that a speaker has at the beginning of a General Assembly is appointing people to committees. And if people don't know anything else about their state representative, they really can learn a lot just by learning what committees they are on. And you serve on agriculture and rural development, judiciary, and local government. How do those specific committees kind of represent your background, and how do you think that helps you?
Well, and again, one of the first things that, and the speaker has been great, especially I think to all the new freshmen. We have a large freshman class coming in, both on the Republican and Democrat side, and he's been very open to ask him questions, do different things. He asked us what committees we want to be on and why, and it was real important to be on agriculture. I mean, that's a very important committee for me to be on, and it's been great doing that, as well as, and then judiciary, because I'm a lawyer, that has been a fun committee so far. Really does help. Local government was very important to me to be on because of a lot of the townships and the cities that are in my area. We wanted to see some improvement to them.
So you tackle a wide range of issues on those committees, and then you come to the House floor and the other committees that you don't serve on. Those issues are presented as well. Do you find that most of the issues at some point come back to the economy?
Yeah. I mean, everything, that's what we're trying to do. And I think the good news for Ohio has been that, we're now past from the job loss that we had the number of years ago, 8 years ago, and we're now going in the right direction. We want to continue that. So it is about jobs. It's about getting jobs, and especially in the 43rd district, I think we were particularly hit hard on that, and we want to try and get those jobs and those businesses back in the community that we lost, and it really does. And when we talk in each of those committees, and when we're the bills that come forward committees that I'm not on, we're asking those committee members, or at least I am asking those committee members, as to, what's the impact, and where that is going, and so you just really try to stay focused with that.
We're going to move on to some of the issues that really impact your district. Ohio is a very diverse state, and as we mentioned before, the 43rd district really is representative of sort of the state as a whole, because you have both urban and rural areas. Share with us some of the important issues that particularly impact the 43rd.
And again, and particularly, like we're just worked on House Bill 61, which is the water quality bill, which impacts our agriculture community, our farmers. So we're, and one of the interesting things that I had happen, again, I'm not from an agricultural background, but during the campaign, we went to a number of farms, and the cattlemen, and, just in 4-H kids. Going to the county fairs, you learn so much, and those kids are willing to share their insight with you of how, as future farmers of Ohio, and that's our number one industry. You got to listen to them, and what I did is I called them. That's an easy thing, and so that water quality was a big thing in our particular area. And again, refocusing back on the economy, what I call corridor, the 4970 corridor, which is in the Trotwood area and Clayton area. I mean, it's just trying to get those businesses and get companies coming back into that area. It's been hit hard. We do have some businesses that have come in. We want to show them it's a great district to be in. We have good schools there, improving schools. The schools are doing well in their sports and all that, but as education-wise, they're improving. And we're just trying to show those businesses it's a great place to do business in this area and in Ohio. And that's what we're trying to do, not only with the budget, you're trying to make sure we maintain a competitive edge with all the other states.
We touched on it earlier. House Bill 4 is what the bill you're sponsoring, along with Representative Robert Sprague of the Findlay area up in Northwest Ohio. In simple terms, that bill expands access to a medication known as naloxone. Can you first explain to the viewers what naloxone is and the impact it plays in really saving lives?
Yes, naloxone in this House Bill 4, and it's just an ongoing. The House and the legislature, and along with the governor, over the years, we have an opiate addiction problem in this state, and it's been leading to overdoses. Opiate addiction. We went from, if you're addicted to opiates, people generally we closed the pill mills. And then people switch to using heroin, and then they've been mixing fentanyl in that. And these overdoses, just people using too much of the drug, and it slows the heartbeat down, slows the bodily functions down, and all of a sudden you're in that overdose stage of approaching death. And what naloxone does is basically it instantly reverses that. It brings the person back. And what had happened in the last session is that they allowed naloxone to be given to first responders to get there to save that individual. When 911 is called and the person's laying there, they can give that medication to them. And listening to first responders and officers and EMTs, when it's a nasal spray, and there can be an EpiPen injection, but when that nasal spray is done, they're instantly back. Now, they may not be happy because they're going through withdrawal right away, but it gives them a chance at life and gives them a chance to do treatment. In the House Bill 4, what we wanted to do was expand that to friends, family, relatives of the individual that may be abusing drugs and with the opiates, and give them an opportunity. So if you happen to know somebody, you can purchase the kit, and prices has gone up. And the Attorney General DeWine worked with the company to get those prices down. There's a rebate, but again, it's about $35 to $40 for this kit. But what's important is it saves a life, and it gives that person an opportunity to try and seek out treatment. And in the end, if someone is overdosing and you give them the drug and they do survive, their medical stay is less. So that saves money on the economy. It saves money going through the Medicaid and all the other issues that person may be on. It helps us save money, and hopefully they get that treatment. Also, it sets up a protocol where you can go to the pharmacist to get this. And in that protocol, what's really important is not only do you have to you administer it, but you got to call 911, because that drug, although it is powerful and it can save a life, it wears off fairly quickly on a strong overdose, so they've got to seek medical treatment.
We have about a minute left at the end of the program. In that last minute, how about you share with the viewers and your constituents back in the 43rd House District, how they can best reach you here at the State House?
You can do it a bunch of different ways. You can contact us directly at, the phone number is 614-466-2960, or you can get on the internet, and it's REP43 at ohiohouse.gov. And we will be having a number of meets and greets out in the community, some coffees to what we call office hours in the district, and we're going to try and split them up between Montgomery County and Preble County. We've got a big area, but you can come to any of those once. We're going to try and publicize them, and hopefully we'll see you out there and make sure we address all those issues.
And that contact information is also on the at the bottom of the screen. Representative, great talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Us. And we look forward to seeing you again on the next edition of Ohio in Focus, the program that brings state government to you. Thanks for watching.